Flood, Vegas.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? I'm your host, Paco, and you're listening to Occupy the Media. I want to thank you if you're tuning in right now. Today is Monday. What is it today? Monday, May the 7th. Don't forget to donate to RonPaul2012.com if you haven't. Shout out to Amiro out on Facebook. He's been talking about the trip out to San Diego. A bunch of socialists were out there protesting Ron Paul. Well, not a bunch of them. I'm pretty sure it was a small group. But he got video of talking to them. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. We're going to have him on the show, so that'll be cool. But right now, we're going to get Mark Russell on the show. He was the one that was streaming the Nevada convention. We want to talk to him, so we're going to go ahead and see if we can add him to our call here.
Paco.
Mark, what's going on, man?
Hey, not a whole lot. Good to talk to you and your audience.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. And I just want to say, while I got you on the line, on behalf of all the Ron Paul supporters, we all appreciate it. I know some of us was kicking back. I was about to go to CVS and get some popcorn, yo. I'm serious. I put that on the chat. I was about to get some popcorn in, you know what I'm saying? So I was rolling up, I was chilling. So we definitely appreciate that, man. And so, you know, because of the volume and because of the audio and Ustream kept messing up, and then there was ads cutting in, and sometimes you would talk, but I think some people didn't get to hear you because of the ads. And so we want to kind of get firsthand from you what went down, what happened, kind of run us through the events, you know, those that you think that are interesting.
Yeah, you got it. So the event started Saturday morning, and it was slotted to start around 9 a.m., and they pretty much started on time. And the first order of business is, well, you basically go through all the sort of pre-rituals, the prayer and the pledge and the anthem and so forth. And then then the floor was opened up for nominations for the presiding chairman. And the Ron Paul campaign here seemed to have not decided, or they didn't want to make a big deal one way or another who won the chairman. We just wanted a fair chairman, and the man who they elected was indeed very fair. And I didn't know him personally, I never interacted.
You said he was fair? But you said he was very fair?
He was fair. He was a good chairman, and overall we were pleased to have him. And that was especially made the case when the whole snafu was brought about. Number one, with the fake counterfeit slates, and number two, the fake credentials. And what I mean by that is about an hour into the proceedings, where we are required to where we are required to hold various votes in order to receive the credentials report. Now, what the credentials report is that there's a committee called the Credentials Committee, and what they are responsible to do is they are responsible for giving a preliminary report and then a final report. And the preliminary report reports how many delegates, how many press, how many visitors are present at the convention. And they should, for those of you listening who haven't gone to your convention yet, you should always demand to have not only that count, but the breakdown by county in terms of how many delegates are from each county. And so what happened, here's what caused a big problem, is that the Credential Committee, they gave a figure, and I'm sorry, I don't know the figure off the top of my head, but she gave a figure that was wrong initially. Now, what made that complicated is that it came to light that there was a compromised credential. There was a person pretending to be a Ron Paul supporter, and I interviewed this guy. He's on one of those interviews that I did on the live stream. I interviewed the guy and who ran after an individual wearing a Ron Paul shirt who was handing out the fake slates. What the Romney people did is they apparently took the Ron Paul slate, quickly tried to replicate it on their own PC, printed off on our same green paper, and by using a false, or rather counterfeit visitor credential, and a credential is just a little placard that you wear around your neck that fits in a little sleeve. He gained access. There were a few of them who gained access to the floor, and they were handing out fake slates to the delegates. So you see there's two problems going on. There's, number one, they're handing out fake slates, and number two, the credentials were compromised. And the reason that I know that he had a fake credential is because in my interview with the delegate who chased down the guy, he got a close look at the credential, and it was not perforated. That means, it wasn't professionally made. It was very obvious that it was put, that
like
a
fake
real credential
ID, basically.
Yeah. It was put into a scanner and then printed on an inkjet. So it was patently counterfeit. And so,
okay. So just to make sure I'm clear, did this guy got called out in front of everyone? The guy that was doing this?
No, he didn't get called out. And here's what happened. So they were in the middle of, 15 minutes into the deal. They were in the middle of passing out these fake slates. And one of our delegates, and her last name escapes me, but she's the girl Rachel who was in the interview with Wiz. She went right up to the microphone and she issued a point of information. And a point of information is a privileged motion, which means that it can go before any other motion that is on the floor, and it needs to be a question in the form of a question directed to the speaker. And she went right up to that microphone and said, "Point of information, Mr. Speaker, why is the Romney campaign handing out fake slates to the delegates right now?"
And that's the exact words. That was the exact words she said, basically, or around something like that.
That was basically, yeah, pretty close. And I should have the audio for that. For whatever reason, my video was down while that was happening, but I may have picked up the audio on that. But so at that point, the guys fled from the convention area, and then some of our delegates ran after them and caught up to them and just basically started to interrogate them with various questions like, who are you with? I see you're wearing a Ron Paul shirt. Do you support Ron Paul? The guy was like, I haven't made my mind up yet. I mean, who knows? Who knows who these folks were from? And so essentially, what happened was security marched them out the door. So you could only imagine. That now that this information is brought to light to the whole convention, and not only that, but the fake credential was brought to the attention of the chairman, and the chairman did the right thing, and he informed the delegation that the credential was compromised, and then Wiz did a great thing, and he went to the mic, raised a point of information, and asked him how do they know that there are not more credentials that are not compromised? Well, of course they don't know. So now at this point, a vote on any issue is absolutely impossible because you don't know who is who. And the rumor was that the Romney campaign brought in several visitors and sat them in with the rest of the delegation to vote in accordance with rules changes.
Okay, let's hold on that. Let's hold on that because we're about to come up to the break, and that's so crazy, man. And you know what's so funny is that it's almost like you're talking about Maine, because that's exactly what went down in Maine. It's like someone was listening, they wouldn't know who I'm talking to. It was Maine or Nevada. Anyways, we're going to a break. We'll be right back with Mark Russell. I'm Paco, your host. You're listening to Occupy the Media.